Be Scott for the ball.
We're coming to you live from Barnsley Metrodome, a venue that is to darts what Glastonbury is to music,
25.
a real festival of darts over the next few days here in South Yorkshire.
25.
But it's all gone wrong in the opening match for the #1 seed in the tournament, Luke Humphries.
25.
Heading back to his hotel to prepare for battle in Barnsley again tomorrow, beaten by Karol Sedlacek. An impressive fight
25.
back from 3-0 down to win that match 6-4. And that opens up this board and will be a little bit more optimism, but maybe a little bit more pressure
Outside.
for the pair that are about to go head-to-head now. Scott Waits, the two-time BDO
Outside.
World Champion, against the quick-fire Dutchman, Jermaine Wattimena, and a man who knows all about lifting that
25.
world title at the Lakeside is alongside me, Mark Webster.
Yeah, big opportunity on this board now. Well, for Karol
25.
Sedlacek as well, he has taken basically the #1 seed's position, hasn't he? I'm not stating the obvious, but he will fancy this now. But the prospect of facing Karol Sedlacek next is, no disrespect, not as fearful as Luke Humphries, so it's a big opportunity for one of these, but yeah, they've got a game on their hands if whoever gets through, because I was so impressed with Karol Sedlacek there. Never seemed ruffled, did he, Chris, even at 3-0 and 4-2 down, and a deserved winner against the #1 seed.
They met twice before this pair, Wattimena winning both matches, but they were in 2020 when he was in finer form. He's had a difficult time, hasn't he, over the last 18 months or so.
Yeah, it's been slightly better this year, hasn't it? I remember the World Championship when he lost to Boris Koltsov. He looked a broken
60.
man walking off the stage, and you feared for Jermaine, but there's been some signs this year. A victory over Johnny Clayton
95.
in the Dutch Darts Masters, and you saw that the reaction when he won it, it had the look of someone who'd won a major title, but that's just how much it meant to Jermaine Wattimena. But those performances have been few and far between. Consistency is the key for Jermaine.
Yeah, particularly lately the signs have been much, much better. They beat Raymond van Barneveld and an
81.
informed Roby John Rodriguez yesterday before losing out to David Pallett.
Scott Waits fell at the first hurdle yesterday on the stream as well. Lost to Robert Owen.
180.
And fires in the first match there. Robert Owen, who had Peter Wright in trouble, led 4-2. Peter Wright went on and won that game 6-4 in today's
95.
opening round.
We did see Wattimena reach a quarter-final of one of these events last month as well, so as Mark rightly said, there are signs of a bit of a return to form. Well, this would be a fine start for his opponent. That's what he wants,
Game
and
shot.
that's what he gets. It's a 1-2-1 checkout for Waits to break, and that will hurt Wattimena, who was sitting in a pretty spot.
Yeah, for me, there was Scott Waits, and this is not a criticism, this is how I rate him, but he should have done so much better in the PDC. He's been to the World Championships on one occasion. He beat Matt Campbell, an absolute classic. Should have beat Nathan Aspinall. Lost his tour card, got it back, but
180.
should have done more. Oh, well, they can't do much more in this leg, though, exchanging 180s at the beginning.
Could be a classic leg. Could be the best leg we've ever witnessed. Then again,
Yeah, we saw
60.
4 180s. Two players on the perfect 9 yesterday, Dave Chisnell and Nathan Aspinall. Not going to see it here.
81.
one of the things that seemed to coincide with Jermaine Wattimena's loss of form was a rapid loss of weight, and we've seen that affect players over the years as well. Phil Taylor being a prime example. He used to fluctuate a lot. I mean, his loss of form would still win him titles, wouldn't it? But you're a fit lad, Mark. You probably don't know about these things.
Fit lad, I'd say. I've never sort of experienced a drastic sort of fluctuation in my weight, but yeah, you've seen it affect players, and Jermaine, obviously the form suffered, but there's not a lot he can do about this. That's back-to-back 12 darts from Scott Waits, and this is what he can do. This is why he's a two-time world champion and a Grand Slam champion.
180.
Well, it's back-to-back 1-2-1 checkouts as well. Both of them completed in different ways, having found 2 trebles for the first one for the second, finishing on the bull, and it is a sweet repeat for Scott. Wattimena kicks off 180 just as he did in the previous leg, but that didn't help him then.
Yeah, so far in this match,
97.
Waits has got the knack of taking out 1-2-1, and that's why he has a 2-leg lead.
180.
Well. 1-2-1, 1-2-1. from Scott Waits to finish the first two legs. It's 180-180 to start the third from Wattimena.
140.
This is some tie so far. Over to Jermaine now. No, but there we see it. The reaction again is just focus, isn't it? Saw it from Luke Humphrey, saw it again from
86.
Jermaine. No dwelling on the missed treble.
And yeah, players like that pair you mentioned, Luke, before, and Wattimena now, they throw that fast, don't they? That you don't want to stop the rhythm, whatever happens.
58.
55. To halve
Game
the
shot.
deficit. Nicely done from Wattimena, not flustered despite those two brilliant finishers from the new beard to be feared.
Yeah, the winning legs. 2-12s for Scott, 11 for Jermaine Wattimena. Some start.
60.
Tell you what, that beard is taking a bit of Whitlock-like shape, isn't it, for Scott Waits? Maybe he's going to become the Wizard Waits.
96.
Very good. Just scanning down our scoreboards. Good to see Neil Zonnevel back today. He withdrew at the back end of one of his games, pardon the pun, with a bad
85.
back. He's currently 3-2 up on a man who's won in this venue before, Danny Jansen.
95.
Another man with hair as a big feature. And he makes a deal out of it, the mullet.
$45.
But yeah, Zonneveld, it was difficult to see. It does happen from time to time. We do see players withdrawing.
Take it off.
Now, I think there's a bit of an issue here. I think it's the referee's watch that Scott Waits has complained about there. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? I think a light was flashing
60.
off the no doubt expensive watch of Andrew Davis, and Scott Waits has said,
No,
take
sorry.
it off. Not got any time for that.
Well, that is a strange one, and well, there we see.
99.
No wonder Scott has been struggling with his average here, only averaging just over 100. All because of Andrew's watch, but yeah, it's a real strange one. That probably just pinging off the lights and just catching his eye. But Jermaine has taken advantage, working his way back into the tie here.
Drops his dart, Scott Waits. Going downstairs.
42.
Oh, my old arm wrestling sparring partner Boris Critchmer's in trouble. 3-0 down to Jim McEwen.
Yeah, the clock face on his watch is the size of Big Ben. No big fish for Waits, so Wattimena can level the match.
100.
And maybe if he does, Waits will tell the referee to get the timepiece back out of his pocket.
Game shot.
Yeah,
He strikes at 12 o'clock and it's 2-2.
yeah, that the worst leg of the match, but the standard's been incredible. 17 darts, but Jermaine, credit to him. Jermaine can show a lot of emotion on the
98.
board sometimes. It gives a lot away, but 2-0 down, he just kept calm. He knew his opponent was having a purple patch, and when your opponent goes 12-12, there's not a great deal you can do about it, but just regrouped
137.
and levels the match up at 2 apiece.
It's interesting that this section of the board is getting very interesting, this section of the draw rather,
60.
because not only have we lost the number 1 seed from this board, on the next board we've lost the number 16 seed as well, so there's going to be a real opportunity for unseeded players to progress deep into this tournament. That's Brendan Dolan. He's been beaten 6-5 by Kevin Doots. I have to say, Waits would be in trouble if he played Brendan, wouldn't he? Sometimes he wears a shirt with
97.
clocks all over it. It's amazing a game that the variables change very little, but you do see something new every single day. And that's a new one on me, Mark.
I wish I would have thought of
58.
that one. I could have done with some excuses back in the day. But Jermaine is playing better than Scott Waits
85.
now, and that's why it's gone from 2-0 to 2-all. And Jermaine could lead for the first time in the match here. He's left a finish, although it's a big ask, and there's pressure incoming here.
How much?
140.
Plenty. But 161 an offer for Wattimena. Oh, yes. No, sir.
116.
Wait, 66 for the break. And he likes his double 18. This is a part of the board he's very comfortable on. To move back in front. over to double 9. Jermaine looks on and gets
57.
the chance. Missed opportunities for Scott Waits.
Wattimena, can he take the chance? 2-8.
29.
One for double 4 now. Having to split, always tricky.
Game shot.
But gets there. Scott Waits leads again. Raced into a 2-leg lead, was pegged back. He's broke again. 3-2 now. The former 2-time Lakeside World Champion. As we watch on.
We have lost a fair few seeds in the opening round. Mentioned Humphries and Dolan. We've lost Joe Cullen as well. He's been beaten 6-5 by Adam Gav.
140.
Great day for the Czechs here in Barnsley so far. Dimitri Vandenberg lost 6-2 to Darius Labanauskas. Ryan Searle went out
100.
to David Pallett. Jose De Sosa to Keegan Brown, and Christoph Ratajski 6-3 defeat to Jamie Clark. So that is 7 of the top 16 seeds losing in the first round.
Yeah, and Dirk van Dijvenbode was in
85.
trouble, but he turned that around. He was 5-3 down to Jules van Dongen. He won that match 6-5. So that's how it should be now, though, isn't it? It's so competitive. It seeds.
39.
It guarantees you nothing now. The other seed on this board, Keane Barry's up next, he's Mike Kivenhoven. And we talked about unseeded players fancy, but if you're a low seed and your top seed goes, it automatically it sort of boosts your confidence. So he'll fancy his chances now.
Were you one of the type of players to look at the draw and see who was progressing and who
58.
wasn't, or is it all about focusing on your own game?
So if it's your, particularly when I was a bottom seed, which was, you know, believe it or not, I was a seed back in the day, but generally I was down the bottom of the board. If your top seed goes, it boosts your confidence. It does, and you think you can go on and win the board and have a run. And Scott Waits just having a little run of legs here. 2 for him in a trot now. It's gone in 2s.
100.
He went 2-0 up, 2-2, 4-2 up. Jermaine will hope that trend continues, or he could find himself in a spot of bother here.
Yeah, good correction that from Waits, having gone wayward with the first start, going to the bottom of the board, and then the top for a 102 checkout, his third
58.
3-figure finish of this match, having fired in a brace of 121 finishers.
140.
Lucky for the max here. Scott Waits does really try to force that dart through, doesn't he? But Jermaine, I feel he's got to hold here.
100.
Yeah, very different throwing styles, haven't they? Jermaine, he throws fast, but he doesn't give it anywhere near as much welly as Waits does. No real authority, a little bit a quizzical look from Wattimena there. Can't believe that Scott Waits keeps hitting what he's going for.
He may go back up, but he may go for treble 16. Yeah, brilliant. He goes back up. Brilliant setup from Jermaine Wattimena. Unless the 164 goes here from Scott Waits, Jermaine will get back within 1.
There you go. The bull. Well, he said it before in this match, but it was beyond him then. And Mark mentioned the runs of 2 legs. 2 12s here, 2 6s. And Wattimena just in the nick of time managed to squeeze that the right side of the wire. Gets his hold. Will he get the break and continue the pattern?
The big dart from Jermaine. Scott Waits would have been pacing in the background, hoping to have a go with that 47 for 5-2 and a double break. But instead, it's well and truly game on, and even more so now. Open visit from Jermaine.
Yeah, Waits averaging around 103 in this match, going into this 8th leg.
140.
Can he find a treble here, Jermaine?
100.
Yeah, good die. Stacked it on top like he did when he set up the 24. So, is that run of clusters of legs with 2 going to continue?
140.
139 for Waits when he returns. Now that's an awkward dart for Wattimena.
91.
But he has managed to get himself down to a checkout. Good recovery.
He's just got to tidy up here, Scott. Hasn't
45.
really done that. He's made a bit of a meal of that. And Jermaine, even if the 170 doesn't go, which it could do, it's not going to, but
85.
That could be costly. Big moments coming up in this match here.
Big decision as well. Treble 18 you would think would be the target. And it's on target. As
Game
is
shot.
that, and that is a huge blow to Jermaine Wattimena's chances and a huge finish for Scott Waits, and that has been the key to this match. At 94,
80.
sits alongside a 102 and two 1-2-1s, and that's why Scott Waits is one away from the win.
Yeah, real clean visit from Scott Waits, and it just keeps Jermaine at arm's length, and Waits keen to get the job done here. Pulls into a 5, not happy with that, but you take a 2 treble visit. It's forcing your opponent to follow suit.
The doubling hasn't quite been at the exceptional standard that Nathan Aspinall produced in last night's final, but 5 out of 8. And you take that kind of strike rate, wouldn't you? 63% in any match.
Yeah, of course.
180.
And Waits fancies getting the job done here. There's a big gap now. He's got the darts from Jermaine.
83.
Even more so now. Waits has got 6 darts minimum at 196 for a place in round 2 against Luke Humphries' conqueror, Karol Sedlacek.
34.
A little bit of a stutter there. Way back for Wattimena into this leg, and maybe even into the match.
And Devon Peterson's woes continues. Lost 6-2 to Gian Van Veen in the opening round. Real struggle at the minute for Devon. Needs a big end to the year.
65.
It's a case of what might have Van Veen for Devon Peterson.
60.
Is this the moment for Scott Waits?
He should be better off here though. He was on 196 after 6 darts in this leg. He scored 99 with his last 6. And he's just going a bit wayward here, Scott Waits.
77.
Does tidy up, but Jermaine to prolong this tie, 78.
And tops.
Game shot.
And he finds it. Those gnarled points, bedding the double. And just causing a little bit of frustration for Scott Waits, who will have to wait a little longer to get over the line.
Have to wait a little longer, did you say there?
41.
Yeah, not sure how long, because the official timekeeping piece is now in the referee's pocket, of course.
180.
Wow. Scott Waits, if he does go and lose a tie, he will look at his setup play from 196 in leg 9. It was poor.
96.
And Jermaine has got the darts here. We could be heading to a decider here, and it would be this gentleman on your screen now who would have the advantage of throwing first. Got to complete the job here first, though, in this leg.
And he's thrown 4 180s in this match. 7 between them. It's been a really good standard
86.
throughout. To be fair to the pair, Waits has been averaging more than 100 for most of the match.
Yeah, you've got to say, all 4 players so far we've seen have not let us down on streaming board 1. Confirmation. Karol Sedlacek beat Luke Humphries in the opening match 6-4. Real high quality affair. And this one hasn't let us down either. Jermaine
98.
has not led in the match. If he's going to lead, it'll be the match-winning leg, but he's
45.
got to send us to a decider, and he's starting to unravel now.
Thinking 140. Thinking 140.
140.
He thought about a 140 and he got it. Great setup from Scott Waits. Here comes the pressure from Jermaine, but
100.
not a great deal. Waits has some match darts to book his place in round 2.
Double 10. And still, and he thinks it's awkward, readjusting, having a word with himself.
Game shot and
But
the
he
match.
finds a double in the end, and Scott Waits defeats Jermaine Wattimena by 6 legs to 4. A dazzling performance, really, from Scott Waits, who was dazzled by the referee's watch at the start of the match. Andrew Davis allowed to put that back on, but Scott Waits' finishing, well, it was like clockwork, wasn't it? 2 1-2-1s, a 102, a 94 in there as well. 3 180s and an average of more than 100. Can't ask for much more than that, and he goes through, not to face the number 1 seed Luke Humphries, because he was knocked out by Karol Sedlacek, so he meet Evil Charlie in the second round. We'll be back with some first round action as Keane Barry takes on Mike Kivenhoven next.